Alex, hello. Please give an introduction about yourself.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm originally from the Chicago area out here in the United States. Just moved down to Florida for business purposes. And I joined the real world initially when I moved to increase my monthly cash flow, obviously. And
Mhm.
then that just blew up into where we are today. So,
Okay. Is Florida really as insane as I hear on the internet?
yes, it is. If you go to Miami, you will two things are going to happen, I think. You're going to realize that you probably don't want to leave. And you're also going to realize that you have to leave because it's just too much going on. But other than that, Central Florida is a peaceful area. That's where I currently reside.
Peaceful, just some guys fighting alligators and some other random things
You get your
happening.
occasional alligator and snake. It's here and
Ah,
there.
I see.
It's not
Okay,
as often, but you will find it.
cool. All right. Now, what brought you to the real world? Why did you decide to join?
Well, I was a fan of the brothers, the Tate brothers originally, just through their initial social media um, blow up. And over time you start to follow what they say and kind of mimic it in your own life. I was working a pretty good job during the day. I can definitely afford a $50 monthly expense to see at least what's going on inside of the real world. And initially when I got in, I started working and started making money right off the rip, and I figured, well, it wasn't that long that I had to be convinced. So but the Tate brothers originally drove me into it.
Fair enough. And what campuses did you actually get into when you joined?
I joined the copywriting campus.
hmm Okay. And in terms of learning from the copywriting campus, how different was it compared to if you would have tried doing copywriting online instead of for the real world?
Yeah, in the copywriting sense, you can go online and you can find these gurus essentially that are giving you very basic template, very basic talk tracks that you could potentially take, but they definitely don't cover client acquisition as the roller does, which is the more difficult aspect of the job itself, acquiring your clients and really standing out within your marketplace. That's what I noticed that was different within the real world relative to maybe somewhere you could find on YouTube or some website.
Okay. And what would you say was the biggest challenge you faced when you were actually implementing lessons from the real world?
Um, I would say self-reflection, reflecting on the messaging that I'm curating to my potential clients. I had to definitely take about a month or so to really understand psychoanalytical features and cues that will make people believe in you, essentially. Within the copywriting, we don't approach as just some freelance guys. We want to be strategic partners with our clients, we want to help them grow alongside our own growth. And so it was shifting the mentality from a freelance guy to a proper partner in business. That was my biggest
Interesting.
challenge.
And what was the process like to actually land your first client?
Funny enough, I was doing email outreach for about 3 months straight. Every night I was doing emails after my job. On the weekends, there's just emails, DMs, and I hadn't gotten anything back. And I went on Facebook one day, and an ad popped up to me, and it was a client that was in a particular market that I never thought I would initially have worked with. And then I just sent out an initial DM. We set up a sales call, and he saw the value that I was presenting.
What did you actually pitch him on the sales call, and how did that go?
Well, he needed to redesign his overall social and digital presence. He wanted to start campaigning his products and his services on the social media space. And I could tell he wasn't too educated on how to script out um, the videos that he was writing, how to write particular captions that will enhance an audience, how to create email lists, landing pages. So he was missing all of these. And I helped him initially see what he's going to be losing out on over the next 3 to 6 months if he doesn't implement the correct digital presence, which is a lot of revenue that he would have missed out on.
Mhm.
But ever since then, we've worked in a partnership over these last 3 months, and it's going great for both of us.
All right. And in terms of earnings, how much did you earn from that partnership?
So far, about $2,000 I've earned from just that one client.
Solid. And is your average day different then, now, compared to before you joined the real world?
Well, it is a bit busier, but busy in easy ways, I like to say. I'm just very on my phone. I have, I think, ADHD at this point with my cell phone. I'm always working. People always say this guy's always on his phone, and I say, well, I got stuff I got to take care of. So,
Mhm.
but doesn't seem overwhelming. Honestly, I'm just excited to continue this because, the real world has opened up possibilities and ideas that I never, initially had with such a career path. And so I'm just excited to really get into the difficulty. I haven't found much difficult at this point.
Mhm. Where do you think your life would be heading had you not found the real watch? Would it be
Yeah,
much different?
I have my day job was okay. Um it's just the matrix, as you call it. It's an idea that confines you to a box, and the if it wasn't for the real world to really open up my eyes and show me that your own value can be increased and people will pay you for it. That was what really changed. And it opened up my eyes that you can yourself become of value, and people uh, will be happy to pay you essentially for that
Mhm.
value. If it wasn't for the real world, I would have never found that I had value on the inside. I always thought you were sort of born with it. You're good at your things, you're not good at certain things, but you start to learn that if you put your mind to perfecting a craft, I believe that you curate real value within yourself. And that's what the real world changed. I would have never found that value before.
Interesting. Okay. Is there any more to add in terms of the lessons you went through, maybe insights you learned from it, what the process was to actually go through the lessons?
Yeah, I took about, I believe, 2 weeks of my time to dedicate to learning what was within the lessons, because there's a lot to take in. It's set up in good chronological order, but in terms of volume, it is a lot. I would definitely recommend to walk into it with a certain mind frame, understanding what you need to really work on within yourself, because you could be good at something that another person isn't, and then vice versa. And you have to be able to look at it from a third angle and say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong within the actual material that I'm learning? If you can reminisce on this every day, you'll skyrocket your performance, because what you're essentially doing is judging your own performance at the end of each day. And if you find gaps within yourself, which there always is, no one's perfect, um, you'll get to fixing those problems relatively quickly.
Okay, I like the answer. And since you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Yeah, I'd love to just onboard way more clients, and really help in their growth. Something that excites me beyond the monetary is the genuine impact I have to their lives. I'm opening up a door that they never knew was there through social media marketing, essentially. Having expertise in that field in a world that's shifting to digital and digital year to year, as the world is, I see my life heading that way. I'd love to own my own agency where I'm working with multiple clients with my own team, overseeing it all and just stressing about it every day in a good way.
All right. Interesting. All right. And then what about impact of Tates? Is there anything to add there on how they have impacted your life?
Very, very much so. I grew up with a strong mother figure, not the strongest father figure. Um, and so you get certain things from a strong mother figure that you miss from a strong father. And I think that they taught me to think about what I think and think about what I say.
Is there any more to add there?
I think that no one has ever told me that you should reflect on your own life and your own actions, because perfection is the goal. I always notice how Andrew would say he would stutter within a sentence, and he'd think about that stutter for the rest of the day. and how he could have made it better. And I never thought about that. I never thought about the mistakes I make in a day, the things that I miss out on, the opportunities that I'm letting fly by me. I never thought about those until they really sat there and said, "Are you really doing the most you can? Are you truly? If the world was ending, are you doing the same amount then that you are on a standard Tuesday?" They taught me that. They taught me how to think ahead and not just think with a pack.
Very solid. I like that. All right. And I wonder if there's any more to get into. So, in terms of average day, you said went for copywriting campus. Any plans to go for any of the other campuses?
Yeah, my initial goal is to scale the copywriting into a larger clientele that I work with, and begin trading crypto. The crypto trading campus was something I dabbled in a little bit, and I can see how it was outlined, and it's very clear, and it teaches you solid strategies to essentially multiply the income that you can build off of your cash flow. Um, if you were to, for example, start trading money that you have to work for physically, you're 40 hours a week, you're going to end up losing it. But if you're starting to make additional cash from your laptop on your cell phone that is sitting around, why not multiply it? And that's the route that I'm looking to potentially take.
It completely makes sense.
Yep.
First, you need an income, a decent income before you can begin. But once you have that, then yeah, for sure, good way to multiply.
Sky's the
Awesome.
limit with that.
Right, right. All right. So I'm happy to wrap up with a final question for people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam for the $50. What advice would you have to them?
I would say that if you are hesitant on taking a leap that's worth $50, I would say reevaluate your goals of entrepreneurship. When you understand that as an entrepreneur and as a self-employed individual, you hold all the risk, you hold all the reward. I want to say that you need to get over the idea that $50 can be a scam and get over your own ego. There's a lot to learn in here that you might think you understand already. And then you're going to really get deep into it and know that you know nothing. I'd say that come into it with a clean slate and open mind. Don't have a prefix, it's a scam. If you think it's a scam right away, why would you even give it consideration in the first place?
Mhm. Again, very well put. Okay, so if people want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, my Instagram handle is Alex, Aleks underscore CIR. And then they can definitely shoot me a DM there with any sorts of inquiries, any sorts of questions. And I'd be more than happy to help out and get back to them.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, Alex, thank you for coming on and sharing your experience with the real world. Good to see that it's helping you progress, and it will be interesting to see how the agency comes along as you continue getting more clients and scaling. That should be good.
Yep,
I guess in the
I'm
copywriting
excited.
campus as well, over time you'll start unlocking the hidden chats as you progress. That will help you in other
Yep,
ways. Can look forward to that. And yeah, uh, wish you all the best for future.
incredible. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.